8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The President says that not only best in Asia, we can become best in the world. Sri Lanka Cricket has donated $500,000 to purchase drugs and medicines needed for the Maharagama Apeksha Hospital. The IGP has ordered the inquiring units of all police stations to accelerate the investigations being conducted against the persons who have harmed children and women. The government of Japan has decided to provide $3.5 million to Sri Lanka. Ranjit and Dilum appointed as acting ministers. In foreign news, Prince Harry to stand vigil at Queen's coffin in military uniform. President Ranil Wickremesinghe commended the country's award-winning athletes and cricket and netball teams for setting an example to the rest of the country that despite setbacks and shortcomings they had to endure over the years, it was their determination and fighting spirit that helped them achieve victory against all odds. He said this during a felicitation ceremony which was held yesterday for the Sri Lankan netball team that won the Asia Netball Championship, the cricket team that won the Asia Cup, and the medal winners of the Commonwealth Games. The event was held at the Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts in Colombo yesterday under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. In accordance with a request made by the Sports Minister, Roshan Ranasinghe, each member of the victorious netball team received a reward of 2 million rupees each, which was gifted by the Sri Lanka Cricket as a goodwill gesture of sporting comradeship. In addition, the Commonwealth silver medalists received 10 million rupees each, while bronze medalists received 5 million rupees each. The coaches of the winning athletes were also felicitated during this event, and they were accorded 25% of the cash reward presented to the athletes. These rewards were made available from the Sports Fund. Sri Lanka Cricket has donated $500,000 to purchase the drugs and medicines needed for the Maharagama Apeksha Hospital. The President's media unit says that the relevant cheque was handed over to President Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday by Sri Lanka Cricket. The donation was handed over at the felicitation ceremony organised for the champions, including the Sri Lankan cricket team yesterday. IGP C.D. Wickramaratne has ordered the inquiring units of all police stations to accelerate the investigations being conducted against the persons who have harmed children and women. Investigation should be conducted against the relevant complaints instantly and not delayed for more than 24 hours. Necessary advice has been given to the police to take stern legal action against the suspects. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua said that violent incidents against children reported during the past few months have increased. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. The government of Japan has decided to provide $3.5 million to Sri Lanka. It will be given as an additional emergency aid package through the World Food Programme, the International Red Cross and the United Nations Children's Fund. President Ranil Wickremesinghe will engage in a tour of Japan at the end of this month. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has reportedly appointed 2 acting ministers for the portfolios under his purview prior to leaving for the United Kingdom. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapitiya has been appointed as the acting Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies. Meanwhile, State Minister of Investment Promotion has been appointed as the Acting Minister of Investment Promotion. They have been appointed to the positions for the duration of his foreign visit. President Ranil Wickremesinghe left the island this morning to attend the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, which will take place at Westminster Abbey on Monday, the 19th of September. He is expected to return to the island on Tuesday. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The National Dengue Control Unit says that there has been an increase in dengue cases reported in the country so far this year compared to the figures from the previous year. In a statement, the unit stated that by the 36th week of this year, a total of 55,012 dengue cases have been reported in Sri Lanka. However, by this time last year, the number of cases reported was 18,265, according to the unit. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services has confirmed 4 more COVID-19 deaths for Thursday. The Government Information Department stated that 2 women were among the victims and that they were all over the age of 60 years.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
We now take a look at Watchlight. Residents in the Akurassa area complain that a multi-purpose building which was constructed by spending a large sum of public funds in the Akurassa Divisional Secretariat Division is not being made use of. This building has been abandoned for many years without being used for the purpose for which it was constructed. The residents of the area request the relevant authorities to take action in this regard and use the building for public service. This is for the attention of the Secretary of the Akurassa Pradeshya Sabha. World News Headlines. Prince Harry to stand vigil at Queen's coffin in military uniform. Mass exhumation at Izium Forest grave site. Colourful songbirds could be traded to extinction. The Queen's grandchildren, including the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Sussex, will stand vigil around her coffin this evening as she lies in state in Westminster Hall. At King Charles's request, Prince Harry will wear military uniform for the first time since 2020. Prince Harry has worn civilian clothes at public events since the Queen died. Last evening, the Queen's children, including the King, stood guard for around 10 minutes. As they left the hall, members of the public applauded them. The grandchildren's vigil is expected to last 15 minutes. In a pine forest at the edge of Izium, the stench of death filled the air as a mass exhumation got underway. The earth is giving up its secrets. Ukrainian officials believe war crimes have been committed, while they are determined to document. Around 100 Ukrainian emergency service workers wearing blue plastic coverings dug into the earth, opening makeshift graves. They are trying to establish the cause of death of hundreds of people buried in a forest at the edge of the city, recently liberated by advancing Ukrainian forces. Uniquely colored songbirds are at a risk of extinction because they are in demand as pets, research has shown. The pet songbird trade in Asia has already driven several species close to extinction, with birds targeted primarily for their beautiful voices. Now, a study has revealed that particular colors of plumage put birds at greater risk of being taken from the wild and sold. Researchers say breeding birds in captivity for the trade could help. That won't work for all species, said lead researcher Professor Rebecca Senior from the University of Durham. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines again. Prince Harry to stand vigil at Queen's coffin in military uniform. Mass exhumation at Izium Forest grave site. Colourful songbirds could be traded to extinction. That ends this bulletin of world news. On to development news. An expansion program is underway to safeguard the environmental network in the vicinity of rivers and lagoons in the Galle district. Under this program, several projects have commenced at the Kogala Lagoon, initiated by the Ministry of Environment in the southern province. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The experienced pace duo Dushmant Chamira and Lahiru Kumara have been recalled to the Sri Lanka T20 squad for the upcoming T20 World Cup, which will be held from the 17th of October in Australia. Sports Minister Roshan Ranasinghe has approved the 15-member squad for the T20 World Cup. Chamira and Lahiru Kumara came to the squad in place of paceman Ashita Fernando and Matisha Patirana from the Asia Cup squad. However, both Chamira and Lahira Kumara are subject to a fitness test. The skipper, Tasun Shanaka, said he's sure both Chamira and Kumara will join the team. That was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A program will be implemented to increase the export income in the country. The objective of this move is to produce high-standard products with the use of modern technology and to provide knowledge required for the export sector. Attention has been paid to enhance the relationship with the exporters and the rural industrialists.
Business News, sponsored by
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
On to economic news. A bountiful crop of chilies is being harvested from the home garden cultivation in the Hambantota district. The cultivators say that they will receive a high price for the new variety of hybrid chilies. Credit goes to the women in the district who are responsible for this bountiful harvest. That was economic news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says that a few showers will occur in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The President says that not only best in Asia, we can become best in the world. Sri Lanka Cricket has donated $500,000 to purchase drugs and medicines needed for the Maharagama Apeksha Hospital. The IGP has ordered the inquiring units of all police stations to accelerate the investigations being conducted against the persons who have harmed children and women. The government of Japan has decided to provide $3.5 million to Sri Lanka. Ranjit and Dilum appointed as acting ministers. In foreign news, Prince Harry to stand vigil at Queen's coffin in military uniform. To end tonight's news broadcast,